Welcome to the Fit2 Talk podcast.
Thank you, as always, for listening as we bring you meaningful, helpful, and accurate information. And
Remind you that fitness doesn't have to be boring.
right now, you're listening or watching one of our talk episodes during which Bobby and I do pretty much this.
A lot of this.
Yeah, quite a lot.
Significant.
Yeah. If you like what you do, then please leave us a review.
On that note, let's cue the music.
It's Fit2 Talk. We're back. Right, joke, we're in.
Yeah, go.
What do you call a cheap circumcision?
I don't know.
It's coming at the end.
That was a move, I suppose. I like it.
Okay, so this episode is about Greggs.
My favourite topic in the world.
When we decided to do this episode, you were very excited.
As I always am. I'm always excited about anything to do with Greggs, as pretty much anybody who knows me will know.
It's true. Our office is so close to a Greggs, and I think that's why we're here.
Potentially, yeah.
But also, we're doing this because we did that episode about Nando's, and people loved it.
Yeah, went down a treat.
And was like, that's super helpful. So let's do some more of those.
Yeah, let's hit some more places.
We're gonna hit Greggs.
Gonna hit Greggs.
Sounds like we're a robbery group. Look at me.
We are a robbery
Now
group.
we are everybody get your improvisation team together. We are a robbery group. Okay? Now let's go. We've all been there.
Imagine robbing a Greggs.
Give me the 40 quid and the two.
People rob Greggs all the time, though. Like,
Do they? Oh, they'll steal stuff.
People steal stuff from Greggs all the time. Yeah, I'm not talking like
Bank robbery style.
like bank robbery,
Full on gun to the people
like,
and the cashier.
armed robbery, crashing in with a moped.
Do you know what? I was in a Pret the other day, and I felt like I was cheating on Greggs, talking about Pret during the Greggs episode. And this guy walked in, and I was like, I am scared of this man.
Yeah.
He was unstable in this place. And he went and he was like, there was a queue and he was talking to everyone. And then he grabbed a bunch of stuff from the thing, tried to hide behind somebody, put them all in his coat, and then walked out. And the staff all saw him. They all were like, yep.
Yeah. But that happens more and more. I've seen it happen.
It's not worth it.
And they don't, well, that's the thing. It's a lot of these places now are don't bother.
Because you'll get stabbed.
It's not worth it. Yeah, it's 100% not worth it for a bottle of Coke,
from a place that can afford the stock losses.
Exactly.
For the safety of your staff. Pret's already a hard enough job anyway. They're constantly swamped in that place.
Yeah. It's relentless, particularly since the subscription. Yeah.
My God. But anyway, Greggs.
Yeah, back to Greggs, back to my favourite place.
I've got some Greggs info for you.
Oh.
And I want to tell you this because I don't know if you know.
Go.
So, Greggs Bakery, right?
Yes.
Been around a super long time.
Correct.
51. That's when it was launched.
Fine.
Opened.
Yep.
Right, but the guy who owned it, classic, John Gregg.
Yeah.
John Gregg.
John Gregg.
So his name was John Gregg. He's up from Newcastle way. Obviously, that's where they opened the first one. Jesmond in Newcastle upon Tyne.
I have driven past the first one.
The first Gregg. But he actually had a different bakery prior to this.
Oh.
Before it opened in 1924. So he had 26 years of bad maths. That is some terrible maths. 27 years of bakery experience prior to opening Greggs.
Was it called John's?
John's and Greggs, rival companies, both owned by him. And then he died shortly after launching Greggs.
Wow, so he had no concept of how just huge Greggs would become.
Yeah, and Greggs now over 1,600 stores in the UK.
Yeah.
In the UK, not global, just the UK. That's how ubiquitous
nuts.
Greggs is, right?
Yeah.
Everyone in the UK knows what a Greggs is. That means it is bigger than Krispy Kreme and Taco Bell in America. There's more stores.
Fair.
Oh no, Le Taco, not Taco Bell.
Le Taco.
Which apparently is a thing in America.
I've never heard of Le Taco.
Exactly.
But yeah, Greggs is everywhere. And I was reading yesterday, I think there was something in Apple News I was reading that was they're looking at their expansion plans and because obviously they started off in the Northeast, they've kind of slowly moved away from that. And we spoke about this on an episode we've just recorded that you're going to hear in the future. But it's all about their plans to move into Cornwall, which is a risky maneuver because the Cornish are famous for their pasties. Their pasties have been around for a long, long time. So for Greggs to try and muscle in, that's a rogue move.
Hell Yes. I remember when I worked in Cornwall, they were like, we hate Greggs.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, how do you know they're only here?
But I think it's interesting, like their tactic as well. What they're doing is now focusing on like service stations and focusing on drive-throughs and focusing on like train stations. That's an interesting maneuver, I think.
Well, it's where people pick up small bits of food, right?
But like now, Sam and I go to Plymouth regularly. Now there is a Greggs drive-through on the way to Plymouth.
I mean, you're stopping off there, right?
Of course I'm stopping. And sometimes I don't even go to the drive-through because they've also got electric charging there. So I can charge my car and I can have a Greggs.
Done.
I'm like, I just want to kiss them because that's fantastic. And now they've got an app as well, and I love the app.
It was Del Taco.
Del Taco.
Which I have heard of. And Jamba Juice. Bigger than Jamba Juice.
I've heard of Jamba Juice.
Bigger than that.
I've never had a Jamba Juice, but I've heard of Jamba Juice.
So our aim with the Greggs thing was to do similar to what we did with the Nando's episode, which is to provide people some good options based on whatever your goals are when you go in.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's important that people know we like Greggs. We went there today.
We did go there today.
And we're two personal trainers and we care about what we feel like, our health, our energy, and how we look. Let's be honest, that is part of it. And I had a lovely caramel custard donut from Greggs earlier on.
And I had a Mexican chicken baguette, which is a classic.
That is fantastic.
I'm a big fan of that baguette. Like,
I wanted to put that in actually, but it was just pipped by an incredibly similar thing.
Yeah, it's delicious. I will say the Mexican chicken baguette is my go-to baguette in Greggs. It's something like, I'm going to misquote this, so don't listen to me precisely. I think it's about 497 calories, something in that region.
Meaningful, helpful, and made-up information.
and vaguely, loosely, woolly, accurate calorie count. But it is, I love that baguette. Like that baguette is, I think, an absolute banger. It's tasty, it's filling, it's really filling. And it's
benefit of a baguette. It's not too hard. Sometimes you get a baguette that's like, I'm cutting my mouth.
Yeah, they've nailed the baking of the baguette. Let's be real.
You mock me almost every time we go into a Greggs because I bemoan the state of the custard slice situation.
You do. Every single time we go into Greggs, you shed a single tear.
When I'm in a different city or a different location in the UK and I see a Greggs, I walk in there to see if they still serve the nation's finest Greggs dish, which is a custard slice. Right? And that was this beautiful thing where there was a little like slice of pastry in a rectangle, and then about 2 inches worth of confectionery custard, then another layer of pastry on top. Somebody will say, it's not pastry. I don't know what it was. Looked like pastry to me. Yeah. And then just like white icing across the top. Simple. It looked like a brick. It was glorious.
It looked like a brick.
a brick of sugary goodness. Glory. And right, they must have not been that popular because they've seemed to have stopped doing them everywhere. Because nutritionally, garbage, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's just sugar. Like, all of it was sugar. However, that's why it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the world still needs that stuff. Like, sure, we don't need more of it, but that one existed. Don't get rid of it.
If it already existed, why get that gone?
I'm like, while we're treating about this. Treating? That's not a word. Chatting about treats.
Yeah.
Oh. Just throwing things around.
Kicking off.
Sorry. White Kit Kat Chunky with Biscoff. Right?
Oh, yeah. You got me one of those.
I brought you one in.
Yeah.
What's the review?
That's decent, mate. That is nice. That's real nice. Like, I love Biscoff.
Uh-huh.
I do like white chocolate. I'm not...
You don't love it as much.
You are a huge fan of white chocolate. I like white chocolate. Mm-hmm. I would never necessarily pick it. However...
you don't want me to bring you white chocolate treats.
I mean, you feel free to always bring me treats. But the Biscoff element of it... I had a Biscoff ice cream last night.
From where?
From Iceland.
Like from my house. I made it.
I bought like a 4-pack of like cones of Biscoff ice cream, and it was banging.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah,
and I
real
want
good
it right now.
Yeah, go on Iceland.
But I'm being very stringent with my calories
you are,
at the moment, which is really, really positive for me, and also miserable. It's miserable because I'm not that active at the moment. So my calorie amount is low. It is low. And the only way to bump that up is to be a little more active. And there's no time.
There's no time. Where's all the time gone?
Because I'm working all the time.
Always working.
Yeah, always working. I am still doing stuff, and physical things, etc. But the activities right down, my steps in the day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I need to find time to go for a 20-minute walk. And I'm like, oh, but I do just need to send these 40 emails. Well, that's 3 hours of work. So Good, cool.
Yeah.
But enough of that. That's why
Enough
this
of
is
that.
important,
Yeah.
because I was in Greg's earlier on looking at like, what of these am I allowed?
Yes. Yeah,
And
because you this kind of like our decision to do Greg's for this stemmed from you thinking you were like, oh yeah, everything in there is like over 500 calories, or you thought a lot of things in there, and I was like, no.
I think the stuff I would normally buy, which would be 2 Yum Yums.
Yeah. Specifically 2.
Because they come in boxes of 2.
And another thing you were like absolutely mind blown about was the hot Yum Yums.
Well, I haven't had those yet. I think we should do a live review of that.
We should do a live review of the hot Yum Yums.
But we're going to have the same effect for people as the Nando's episode. Everyone's going to want one of these things afterwards.
Yeah, 100%. And that's okay.
I
Embrace
will
it
have
as
one.
part of a lovely balanced diet.
Also, somebody said to me the other day they didn't know what a Yum Yum was, and I had to explain. It was like donut dough, like twisted like a chocolate twist, or basically 2 strands
Like
of
a
donut
torsade.
dough. Literally, yes, twisted together and covered in like glazing.
Yeah.
It's magical. So,
Okay.
here are some general things. We're
Right.
going to chat about what you'd get for lunch primarily from
Yeah.
Greg's. You're going,
Solid.
I need a quick lunch on the go. Here's what I'm after. But before we do that, sausage rolls.
Banging.
Right. The most popular thing bought from a Greg's.
Yep.
Closely followed by a steak bake. But sausage roll. 329 calories for a sausage roll, which is surprisingly high.
I don't know if that is surprisingly high, you know?
I think
Like-
for the size of it,
Yeah.
it's not that big. Like a caramel custard donut is 50 calories less, fewer calories than the sausage roll.
Yeah.
I'm not saying get that one over. Like
No,
calories are not the be all and end all of
trying
nutrition, but
I'm trying to think if I'm surprised by that. I'm not surprised because I knew what it was already. So that maybe that's taken the like.
there's no element of surprise.
There's no element of surprise, but yeah, I mean, realistically, that's quite a few calories for what it is. For like, you could have one of those and it won't even touch the sides.
Yeah,
like,
I'm still hungry.
It tastes fantastic, but I'm still hungry. To me a sausage roll is more of a snack.
That's a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
That's why I'm mentioning it now, not as lunch.
Yeah,
Because I'm like, that is not lunch to me, and yet it's 390 calories.
Yeah, you could quite easily you pick up a 4-pack and you're like, oh man, I'm like 1,200 calories down the hole.
Yeah, and you
Like,
wouldn't even notice.
No.
You'd be like, now what am I having for lunch?
You're like, now I feel like vaguely full.
Vaguely full. Exactly. Right. 9.4 grams of protein in that as well. You're going, right, this is the meat one.
yeah.
So you go 9 grams of protein realistically. Okay, not bad. The vegan sausage roll,
Yeah, talk to me about the vegan one.
which is super popular, right? I think this is the first company that brought out the vegan alternative that was like a big hit.
Big
Is that
up
fair?
to Greg's. No, I think it is. I think big up to Greg's because Greg's have kind of been at the forefront of the vegan fast food revolution, I would say. Because if you look at like the vegan sausage roll came out a while ago now.
In my mind, it was the first big success for a vegan alternative to something already popular.
Yeah,
You know,
I think it was. Yeah,
Because like McDonald's had come up with stuff, but they weren't great. Like they existed, but they were like, fine. And obviously alternatives exist now that are fantastic. But back then when the vegan sausage roll launched, it was like, oh, this is good. And people are like, this might be better.
yeah.
And on that front, it's 300 calories.
Okay, so a little bit better. Yeah.
Same ballpark, right? 11 grams of protein.
Oh, more protein.
More protein.
Well.
Not what you'd guess.
Not what you would guess. Go on, Greg's.
That makes you wonder how much of the sausage roll is actually meat.
Well, yeah. To be in fairness, I now prefer a vegan sausage roll.
Do you?
Yeah.
I
think I've gone down the rabbit hole and I prefer the vegan sausage roll.
Now I know there's more protein in it.
It has to be warm though, man. Oh, my word. A vegan sausage roll when it's cold is not a good
It
experience.
has no flavour when it's cold.
It's a miserable time.
As we go through this, we've mentioned some of the others. If you're looking for a sweet treat, a Yum Yum is in there as 323 calories. That is full on, just because we've talked about them,
Yeah.
I should say.
Yeah.
That's a significant chunk. Do you know what I mean? You'd have fewer calories if you were having a Mars bar.
Yeah.
Right, so that's fine. Make the choice. We do. Or like a glazed ring donut is the thing I found that felt like the sweet treat that had the lowest calorie thing.
Yeah.
Like,
if you're like hankering after a little sweet treat.
yeah, and you go, I want something that feels like that's 219 calories.
That's not bad, you know.
I don't think it's bad.
I don't think that's bad at all.
They're not really small. They feel like you're having a decent treat.
Yeah.
And 219 calories, that's not bad. That probably means that later on in your day, it depends how many calories you're having and how much you're allotting to that kind of stuff, if you're even thinking about it. But otherwise, on that front, picking that glazed ring donut, thinking of Homer Simpson and having a fantastic time.
Well, yeah, like if you are after a sweet treat, then that is a pretty decent solution. Like 219 calories. Like you're getting a decent amount of food. It's gonna taste very nice.
Yeah.
Like that's good bang for your buck right there.
Hell yeah. So, shall we move into what you'd want from like a lunch?
Yeah, talk to me about lunch, baby.
So I've got something to present to you here.
Okay,
So
okay. Present your lunch to me.
Yeah, and I've got two options.
Yeah.
This is the high protein
Okay, yes.
version
Yeah, fine.
that we're looking for. I'll do like vegan stuff afterwards, but this is high protein, full diet.
Okay.
Two options. Ham and cheese baguette, 29 grams of protein.
Hey,
Like a surprising amount of protein in that.
that ain't bad.
That's a lot.
I would take that.
I actually had to like look it up. I went back to their website to go, is this accurate? And then option 2, tuna mayonnaise stotty. Now, some people are going to be listening to this and going, your facial expression.
What?
And listening to this, shouting at this, going like, obviously a stotty. And apparently a stotty is like a flat roll from the Northeast.
Okay.
So like a wide flat bread.
Like a bin lid.
Well, I don't know what you mean by bin lid, but do you mean like the lid of a bin?
It's like a BAP that is like a bin lid.
Yes, I had a look at it. So yes, I'll take that.
Fine.
Yeah. Now, one of those, which I imagine you can't get everywhere, but you might be able to get up north. That's the only thing on their menu that contains more protein per portion, and that's 30. So I've included it because it was the higher protein option, but I don't think they do that everywhere.
But realistically, like the ham and cheese, you're going to get everywhere. Like when I was looking for my Mexican chicken baguette, I saw that there.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. That's good to know.
And ham and cheese toasty was really, really close and slightly fewer calories, but this is the highest protein because that's the aim of this.
That's what we're looking for.
Max protein in your diet in that. Then ham and cheese baguette.
Go on. Yeah.
Straight
29.
up. We haven't covered drinks or anything like that from McGregor's because they're the same as soft drinks everywhere else. So we'll do that in a different episode.
Yeah.
But realistically, crack that baguette in, 29 grams of protein on the go, job done.
Yeah.
But like you, I would probably elect to go for the Mexican chicken or what I've got down here. Here's our low calorie option for a proper lunch. Now, again, I haven't included your bakes in this because I think you eat a steak bake or chicken bake or sausage bean and bake. I did look at them all.
Yeah.
And there's so many.
They've got a lot of varieties. Yeah.
There's tons. And their nutrition information is a mess as well. There's like 100 pieces of information about each thing. It's impossible to read. So we've done the work for you.
Hey.
What was my point? Do you have any idea what my point was? This has never happened in the history of this podcast.
I think now what you were talking about.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Low calorie stuff. So, yes, I've got it. That it wasn't bakes or anything like that. It was should feel substantial, like a meal.
Yeah, you want it to feel like filling. So I'm going to throw. I just quickly looked up the Mexican chicken information because I thought I should actually. I wasn't far off. 493 calories. I was 4 calories off.
There you go. And that's the baguette.
That's the baguette.
There's a roll version.
Yeah, there is a roll version. There's also now like a flatbread version.
Yes,
as well.
Which weirdly is more calories, which is strange because it shouldn't be.
Yeah. The baguette.
What's down here is the tandoori chicken roll I went with.
Yes.
Which is 358. So if you're looking for a low calorie option, it's tandoori chicken, so it's going to be tasty.
Yeah.
We're looking in a roll, so it's going to feel pretty substantial, and then 358 calories for that. So if you're going, I don't have that many calories in my day, and I just need lunch on the go, I don't have time. That's that same thing that you hear all the time as a personal trainer. You're like, I only had 5 minutes to run out for lunch, and you're like, yeah, but you ate 4 sausage rolls and you grabbed 2 donuts on the way back.
Yeah,
like which is fine, but just know that was a choice. Like one option is this.
Yeah,
you
can go into Greg's and get something. Decent, like something filling, something nutritionally all right, like obviously processed, but we'll have some nutrition to it.
I mean, obviously there's better nutritional options out there, but that's not what this is. This is about going, here's the situation I'm in. How do I make the best out of it in real life, right?
It's a real life situation. Like realistically, Greg's, like we said, Greg's are everywhere. So
you got 20 minutes between shows.
You got options. Like you want to look at what your best options are when you go into those places. So that's kind of the reason for this.
It's tech, right? It's tech. You've got a quarter of an hour break. You haven't eaten for 6 hours by accident. You're like, oh my God, there's a Greg's by stage door and nothing else for at least 400 meters that you don't have time to get to. What do you buy? Like something that's in line with what you're trying to achieve, hopefully. Oh, let's just get this protein it in, or let's just keep my calories a little bit lower down and still feel full, or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's super important. The lowest calorie option that we found, actually you found these, was the smoky Cajun rice.
Yeah, these are relatively new.
With barbecue chicken and sweet corn fritters.
Now, I love sweet corn and I love fritters. So I intend on, I'm going to give you my review next time, because I'm going to intend on having this in the next week.
Please do, because I hate sweet corn.
And this is where you and I fall out.
With a fiery passion.
I love it. I will add it to everything. Literally everything.
Sweet corn is the worst.
Didn't I put sweet corn on the pizza the other day?
You did. I didn't eat that one.
That's fantastic.
That's absolutely true.
I already knew that you didn't like sweet corn. I just led with my own selfishness.
Well, they weren't all for me. I did eat most of them.
You did eat most of them.
But that was painful to hear out loud. I did enjoy that pizza.
The pizza was good.
That was made in your pizza oven.
Yeah.
Like
pizza oven
a full-on outdoor pizza.
Glorious.
It was fantastic. So, smoky Cajun rice, barbecue chicken and sweet corn fritters, low-calorie option, 253 calories.
That's wild.
Absolutely wild. Not the highest protein content, 11 grams of protein, but realistically, that's the same as the vegan sausage roll. So, don't use protein as a reason to get it.
No.
But
if you want a low-calorie option, get amongst that. That also, I will obviously taste test this shortly, but it looked nice.
Did it? I didn't see it.
It looked good. Like
Cajun rice, that's a winner though, right?
Yeah. It looked like it was going to be like a nice tasting meal.
Now I want it.
Yeah.
No, I don't like sweet corn.
Yeah.
I've done a good job of selling it to myself.
You have. Also, the one thing to say as well, Greggs do great meal deals. And this is important. This is important because, like, obviously, the cost, cost is an important factor to take into this. But they do fantastic meal deals. So I think, like, today, I ended up paying less by having a drink with my baguette. I might be making that up, or maybe I paid like 20p more. But they do some fantastic meal deals. So take advantage of that. Also, take advantage of the app, because the app is like, if you go to Greggs, even if you go to Greggs every so often, you can make some big savings in the app. Yeah. Like they do a lot of buy 7 drinks and you get 1 free, that kind of thing. So like, it's even great for like coffee, because we know my thoughts on Greggs coffee, that it is actually for a high street coffee pretty decent. So yeah, the app is great, and I tend to make up most of my Greggs points and that kind of thing with their breakfast bacon rolls.
Do you know what? You mentioned this, and I did look it up. We got some nutritional information.
Talk to me
on the specifically bacon breakfast roll.
Yeah, because this is my, like, I'm on my way to teaching an early class. I need something to like make me happy,
which up north might be called a BAP.
Yes, or a barn.
Or a barn, depends on up north you are.
Yeah,
or
a bin lid. If you go bigger.
Lid. God, aren't there like 11 words for this? And that it was part of that test that could tell where in the UK you were from by like what word you used. And they've like pinpointed it. And there's literally like areas. Some of it isn't that rational. There's literally like pockets of people that can tell where you're from.
That's interesting.
It was very, very, that was, oh God, New York Times did a whole survey and it had a bunch of words. Was it that? I can't remember the newspaper. And it was unerringly accurate. It was horrifying. So, sorry, bacon breakfast roll. They do ones like bacon and an omelette, bacon and etc.
They do a sausage one as well.
327 calories.
All right.
So, it's relatively the same as the sausage roll.
Yeah.
So, as far as breakfast goes, probably a decent amount. Doesn't include any ketchup you might put in it or whatever people might add. And 19 grams of protein. Okay,
ding dong.
Which is high.
That's good. Like, I'm happy with that. Like, when I think about that as my breakfast, I go, I'm happy with that. Like, that's a decent little hit of protein. Calories wise, it's not hugely high. It's a filling breakfast roll. Like, they're not skimping out on the bacon there. Like, it's a decent breakfast roll. Again, talking about cost, it's part of a meal deal. The meal deal is pretty like reasonable price wise. That's good.
I think that's
I'll
good.
Take that.
Obviously, we're not mentioning the fat content in any of this stuff or carbohydrate, really, because carbs is the least relevant to me, realistically, out of those things. But you know that the fat content's going to be pretty high if you're having that much bacon.
Yeah.
At that point, you go, that's in no way a problem. You just go, oh, I probably won't have fatty meat later on in the day, or foods that contain loads of fat, because you go, that's probably going to be quite high in fat.
Yeah, that's the thing. And like
so fine. Just do that and be aware. But also a bacon roll is sensational.
Yeah. I'm excited for the day, I'm just preempting them, that they bring out a vegan bacon roll.
Vegan bacon at the moment, not there.
There's one that I want to try. I don't have a hob at the moment, so I can't. So
why?
Oh, my gas hob's broken. It just clicks constantly. So it's like constantly trying to ignite, but doesn't.
Can you ignite it yourself?
I've not tried, but it's like it will keep clicking the whole time. It'd be like so I've just had to unplug it.
Oh god!
And that's been for like the last month. So Sam and I have been improvising about how we're cooking things.
Oh, try igniting it, because that happened to my mum's old hob, and she'd just use the like candle lighter thing and ignite, and then it would stop trying to light it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because the sensor goes, oh, this is lit.
I'll try that. I'll try that later today because that's interesting.
It's not a long-term fix, but at least I might like to cook stuff.
I do have a hob coming because I like this is such a tangent, but I looked at like getting it repaired, and it was like almost as expensive as getting a brand new one fitted. I was like, this is madness, and there was no guarantee. What I thought was most ridiculous thing is there was no guarantee that they would fix it. It was going to be like hundreds of pounds for them to come and like look at it, potentially not fix it, and then leave. And I was like,
you do realise this isn't a sentimental item.
Yeah, this is this is a gas hob.
It's a functional thing.
I just need it to work.
That's so annoying.
So yeah, I'm currently hobless, but looking forward to the days when the hob returns, and then I can try that vegan bacon.
Okay, yeah. You should give me a full review on that, because at the moment I'm okay with a whole bunch of vegan stuff, but vegan bacon, the texture so far, oof.
I've hit some great vegan stuff recently. Need to get some Alex Day tips on some vegan.
I've got a bunch of vegan recipes.
Yeah. I love vegan recipes. Like Sam and I, well, I say Sam and I, Sam makes a fantastic vegan curry.
What she use, chickpea or lentil?
Yeah, chickpea. I'm a big chickpea fan.
I fucking hate chickpeas as well.
I see. No, but when they're like soft and like, then they're good. I think there were lentils in it as well.
Lentils I'm on board with.
I lean more towards a chickpea. I feel like I get more texture from a chickpea.
I want less texture.
Because my sense of smell is so bad and my taste is so bad because of my sense of smell.
Yeah.
I think I crave texture.
See, mine is not great too, but there's something about like peas or sweet corn is the worst because it's quite hard.
Yeah.
But anything that like pops, like I don't like beans, like pulses, like all of that stuff. So like a lentil is like tough and then like bursts.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah. Anything small that bursts, like a cherry tomato is as small as I'm going. Or maybe a grape. Other than that.
Man, I love grapes. Grapes are elite.
Can't get grapes from Greg's, but they should. We should mention the vegan option that we found from Greg's, which is the Southern Fried Chicken-Free baguette.
I saw that today for the first time.
Which it looks like a regular, for want of a better word, a meat version.
Yeah.
So it looks hefty. Now, you're looking at 570 calories.
Okay.
But it is by far the highest protein vegan option there.
Fine.
And that's 21 grams.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I'm full on for that. And usually, I'm going to make a cast of wild aspersion here. When you're vegan, the struggle is trying to get more calories in, not lower it down. So I haven't found a low-calorie vegan option because it's not really a concern as regularly.
No, I would say if you were taking, say you were on a low-calorie vegan diet, even if you had this one thing that was potentially a little bit higher, then realistically for the rest of your day, it's not going to be hard.
Yeah.
It's not
depends on your habits.
Yeah, it depends on your habits, but it's going to be easier for you to eat fewer calories than it would, say, for a meat eater.
If you are smashing down, or somebody who ate dairy and everything that comes with that, like if you are smashing down 2 packets of Oreos a day, then fine.
Yeah.
Like obviously got different problems, but like that's not going to help.
Yeah.
This is not going to be harmful. 21 grams of protein, then not bad. To pick up on the go.
Yeah. You're thinking about a lunchtime You're thinking about lunch, which is a main meal.
Yeah,
so,
quick lunch. We're not talking about ideal lunches either.
No, but I think that's important. I think like the things we talk about, and the reason we're doing these episodes is because we're realistic. Like you're not going to be able to eat like perfectly all the time. Most of the time, you're not going to be able to eat perfectly. So actually, if you can go into places that you would regularly go and make smart choices and make like small changes to kind of what you're doing, then you can achieve your goals while still living your life normally and still like enjoying certain things in certain places. Like we enjoyed Nando's, we enjoyed Greg's, and we can do that as part of living a healthy lifestyle, because again, it's about balance. It's about balance kind of nutritionally. It's about balance of like your life in general.
Yeah.
And
sometimes sleeping for an extra 25 minutes is going to benefit you more greatly than getting up and cooking a meal for that day.
Yeah.
Like getting up earlier, and then just making a slightly better choice than you would have done previously. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
And you don't want to make these huge drastic changes, right? That's the thing that happens. People make these huge changes to their diet. They delete all of their habits and then they replace them with something totally different.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work. You can only do that for a period of time because we don't like that much change in general as humans. And we liked this, and this is miserable. So you need to go, ooh, what can I make better about this? Well, let's add something to this thing. And then over time, you might end up over here, or you might end up somewhere else that's different, that is better than this. But you can't just ignore your life, culture, habits, and everything else. It's like, that's why meal plans suck, right?
Yeah. Oh, man, meal plans.
But anyway, we won't do that. People are, right. Is that's covered for Greg's?
I think that's Greg's covered. Like, I think, I'm happy with kind of what we're going into Greg's and what we're picking up. I think that's we've hit some good lunches there.
I do want a sausage roll now, though.
I'm very excited about Greg's. I might swing by Greg's for a second time today.
Second Greg's is bold.
Second Greg's might be too bold. Maybe tomorrow or maybe the day after, I will pick up one of those salads. The rice
with the sweet corn
fritter, and I'm going to try that out and give that a go.
Give us a review.
Give us a cheeky little review.
What do you call a cheap circumcision?
I don't know.
A bloody rip-off. That has got to be the best one yet.
That is your best one. That is fantastic. Oh my God.
I will say I added bloody.
Well, that makes it. Yeah. No.
Because it was just a rip-off, and I was like, I think...
No, that's way funnier with bloody.
I'm going to add this in. Thank you. I'm going to add this in, because funnier.
Yeah, way funnier.
Funnier. Yeah. So don't get a cheap one.
Oh God, that joke is fantastic. You've well done. That's your finest one yet.
Thank you. Well, I'm finding what the line is now, because we're treading closer to the line.
Yeah, we are,
and that means it's funnier.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we are near to the line.
You have taken some risks lately, and I like it.
I know.
I like where you're at.
In order to be funny, though, it does need to be near that line.
Yeah, you got to push those boundaries.
Every so often, I'm going to cross it.
Yeah,
and I'll know.
Yeah.
I'll know, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I'll totally pedal back when that happens.
We'll delete that episode.
Thank you for listening, as always, to us here on Fit2 Talk. Don't miss our next guest episode when we are joined by Rob Compton.
Oh, the legend, the Bat Boy legend.
The Bat Boy legend himself, and Mr. Wormwood.
Yeah, that photo of him as Bat Boy. That's
terrifying.
Fantastic. It's terrifying. Like, so physical. It's incredible.
Yeah. Beefy. And
beefy.
and Fit2 Perform extraordinaire.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Smashing it with us as a client too.
The latest, the greatest.
Indeed.
Yeah, find us on social media at Fit2_talk. As always, if you've got any questions you want answered, you know what to do. Slip slide into those DMs. I'll be in there snacking on a vegan sausage roll. And also, tell us, what's the next place you want us to do this with?
Yeah.
What's the next place you want to do these menu hacks? We've done Nando's, we've done Greg's. What's next on the list? You tell us. Drop us a message, get into those DMs, comment on the Spotify.
Anything. I refuse to do ZZ, just so you know, because it's terrible.
Oh, God, it's terrible.
Don't forget to leave us that review. And if you like what you've heard, we have been Fit2 Talk with me, Steffan.
And me, Bobby. And if you didn't like it, we've been Joe Wicks. Peace out.
And ZZ.
And ZZ. Get out.